Fuck! Let's see here. What's on the agenda today? Let's talk about it. Hey, in this stream I'm going to talk about the whole like generational thing about like how the Addams family basically changed over time. And what I'm proposing is that Wednesday Addams, the character, adapted over time. Like it adapted over time. And it took 2 generations of actors prior to Jenna Ortega and succeeding Lisa Loring to play the character. And I'm just saying, back in the 90s, there was like 2 different actresses that played the character. And, well, Lisa Loring died at, if I'm not mistaken, in her 60s. Somewhere in her 60s, she ended up dying. I think somewhere between 60 and 69, somewhere right around in that age range, is when the original actress Lisa Loring died. And I'm just saying, when Lisa Loring played the role of Wednesday Addams, she was just a little girl when she landed the role. And then when she got too old to play the role, she handed it down to a couple of actresses. Let me go on ahead and just look into if I could look it up. Well, Nicole Fugere is 38 years of age. And she played Wednesday Addams. And she is like born in 1986. And Christina Ricci. Well, Christina Ricci is 45 years old. Born in February 12th, 1980. So let me look up on here. Christina Ricci was 11 years old when she got the role as Wednesday Addams back in 1991. It's not showing it. Okay, it says here, Nicole Fugere was 12 years old when she first played Wednesday Addams. Lisa Loring was 6 years old when she first played Wednesday Addams. And yet, when Nicole Fugere was like 12 years old, she landed the role a year later after Christina Ricci stepped down. So that's technically there's technically two generations of actresses that played the role of Wednesday Addams. But Jenna Ortega got the role of Wednesday Addams at the age of 22. And yes, the age of the actress jumped up significantly. But who knows? Maybe there might be another generation, or to cover all the age group basis. And who knows, maybe there might be a 15-year-old girl to play Wednesday Addams someday. And who knows, maybe a 29-year-old playing a 15-year-old Wednesday Addams, if they ever decide to do that. And I am just saying, the 4 horsewomen that played the live-action incarnation of Wednesday Addams was a cultural phenomenon. And back when I was a kid, back in the 90s, but in the late 90s, 2 actresses, 1 year apart from each other, or 1 year after the other, played the character of Wednesday. Between the 1960s and the late 90s incarnation of Wednesday Addams. We all know that Wednesday Addams was a highly culturalistic phenomenon. And I'm just saying, Wednesday was a cultural icon back when she first came out in the cultural zeitgeist. But back then, the variable, and the degrees of acting back in those days didn't age well. Sure, it was cutting edge acting back in the 1960s, but the means of storytelling changed so much from the 1960s up until now. But here's the one thing that wasn't prevalent as much in this day and age. There was Cousin Ed, a missing character that was present in the original Wednesday Addams. And we all know, in the original Addams family, from the mid 1960s, wound up going up and going ahead, and ended up being the kind of like how do I say this? The original Wednesday Addams was Gomez Addams' daughter, and some people think it's Lurch that is Wednesday Addams' father, which is not canon. Like Wednesday Addams' dad is Gomez Addams. Always have been, always will be. They wanted to have a continuity error based on like Lurch and his eye discoloration. But ever since Jenna Ortega got the role of Wednesday Addams, the character Wednesday Addams had been thrown and thrusted into the pop cultural zeitgeist, and based on the star power of Jenna Ortega. There's no way that Wednesday Addams got this popular enough to be memed by mobile games and AI chat apps until Jenna Ortega got the role. And memes weren't exactly a thing back in the 90s. Christina Ricci Christina Ricci got the role of Wednesday Addams in the early 90s. And Nicole Fugere got the role of Wednesday Addams in the late 90s. And, yeah. We all know how this ends up. First, it was Lisa Loring, who at the time was the youngest ever actress in history that landed the role and was the first ever one to land the role of Wednesday Addams. Then the second youngest at the time of Wednesday Addams gaining popularity as a cultural iconic character was Christina Ricci, who at the time in the early 90s was the youngest. And the third youngest at the time of playing the character Wednesday Addams was Nicole Fugere, who was, in fact, the third youngest. But here's the oldest actress who played as Wednesday Addams. Jenna Ortega is 22 years old, who gained the role of Wednesday Addams. And if she had have got the role of Wednesday Addams back when she was a child, she would have kept up that whole thing. But the character of Wednesday Addams has evolved over decades. There was like a couple of cartoon incarnations in the 70s and 80s. And then there was the 3D cartoon incarnation in the 2000s. And it went back to live action, but starring Jenna Ortega. And then there was the televised live action reunion play, but that didn't count because Wednesday Addams is supposed to be dark-haired, but the actress who played as her in the live action stage play version seemed to be a bit too sweet and made the character too damn every woman type of relatable. But yet when Jenna Ortega, decades later, like a decade later or so, or 2 decades later, revitalized the role and brought back the disturbingness of the character. The cold chill of the character was brought back by Jenna Ortega. But here's the thing. Jenna Ortega could be canceled at any moment for her views on like identity politics. And with that being said, we all know how this ends up. Somebody else is going to take over. And there's going to be a whole new pantheon of like a well-established pantheon of actresses that plays as Jenna's very own incarnation of Wednesday Addams. And somebody who's an even bigger star is going to come along to overshadow Jenna Ortega and her contributions to the character of Wednesday Addams.
Residuals.
Last 15 seconds. Full video shows recent gameplay 36 minutes and 18